Did you know that 95% of your daily actions and decisions are controlled by your subconscious mind? That's right, most of what you do every day happens automatically without you even realizing it. And if you're like most people, you probably don't know why you do the things you do. The truth is, understanding the laws of human nature can completely change your life. In this video, we're diving deep into the invisible forces that drive your behavior, your relationships, and your success. We'll uncover why you react the way you do, why you're attracted to certain people or things, and why you make decisions you later regret. What if I told you that by understanding these powerful forces, you could make better choices, improve your relationships, and achieve more than you ever thought possible? Stick around, because in the next few chapters, we'll reveal strategies you can use right now to take control of your mind, master your social interactions, and unlock your true potential. Ready to dive in? Let's go! Chapter 1. The Invisible Forces. Unmasking the true drivers of behavior. Every human being is driven by invisible forces we don't even realize are shaping our lives. One of the most powerful and subtle forces is our subconscious mind. Research shows that 95% of our behavior is controlled by subconscious processes. This means most of our actions are not based on conscious thought but are driven by patterns, instincts, and emotions we rarely question. Think about it. Have you ever felt a sudden rush of anxiety without knowing why? Or acted impulsively, only to wonder what got into you? It's all about these hidden drives. Our subconscious mind doesn't need to ask for permission to take control, it works automatically. It's like having an unseen autopilot running the ship of your life. One fascinating study by psychologist Daniel Kahneman highlights how we often make decisions based on biases and heuristics rather than logical reasoning. This is called fast thinking. It's fast because it requires little mental effort, but it can lead us astray. Our subconscious might be telling us to avoid a situation just because of a past negative experience, even if the current situation is entirely safe. Here's a strategy. Start questioning your reactions. When you feel an emotion or instinct, pause and ask yourself, why am I feeling this? Often, just bringing awareness to it helps you detach from the subconscious reaction and make a more mindful choice. Another example is how people often underestimate the impact of their environment. The place where we live, work, and socialize can influence our thoughts and behaviors in ways we don't expect. A study published by the American Psychological Association showed that the colors and arrangement of a room can affect our mood and productivity. This is why your surroundings are more important than you might think. Recognizing these invisible forces can be life-changing. When you become aware of how they work, you can start taking control of your behavior. It's about shifting from being a passive participant in your life to being the conscious creator of your experience. Chapter 2. The Power of Perception. How we shape reality with our mind's perception isn't reality, it's our personal interpretation of it. How we perceive events, people, and situations shapes how we respond to them. A key insight from cognitive science is that we don't see the world as it is, we see it as we are. This idea, popularized by author Anais Nin, suggests that our internal world determines how we view the external world. Take the example of a glass of water. To one person, it's half empty, to another, it's half full. The difference isn't in the glass, it's in the perception of the person. That's the power of perception. It's our mental lens that decides how we view a situation. Why does this matter? Because our perceptions can limit or expand our possibilities. Studies have shown that people who have a positive mindset are more likely to take risks and seize opportunities. They don't just see opportunities, they actively create them. In fact, a study by Carol Dweck, a psychologist from Stanford University, shows that people with a growth mindset believe their abilities can improve through effort, while those with a fixed mindset feel their abilities are limited. This small shift in perception can lead to major differences in success. Here's a strategy. Challenge your assumptions. Before reacting to something or forming an opinion, ask yourself, is there another way to see this? By questioning your perspective, you open the door to new possibilities and avoid limiting yourself. Another example is the power of reframing. If you've ever faced a setback, think of how you can reframe the situation. Instead of seeing a failure as a loss, you can see it as a learning opportunity. This shift in perception allows you to take control and grow stronger from adversity. Perception is like a pair of glasses you wear. The clearer the lenses, the clearer your view of the world will be. If you constantly wear foggy lenses, everything you see will seem unclear, limiting your ability to take action. But by cleaning your lenses, your perception, you unlock a sharper and more accurate view of your world. Chapter 3. The Mask We Wear. Decoding the Art of Self-Presentation. We all wear masks. You wear one at work, one with friends, and another when you're with family. But why do we do this? The answer lies in our deep-rooted need for approval and connection. We present ourselves in ways that we believe others will like, even if it means hiding parts of ourselves. The concept of the mask comes from Carl Jung's theory of the persona, the outward identity we create to meet societal expectations. Jung believed that the persona isn't a true reflection of who we are, it's simply the version of ourselves we show the world. The problem is, when we spend too much time behind this mask, we risk losing touch with our true selves. A study published by Harvard Business Review shows that people who consistently present a polished, perfect version of themselves often feel a sense of burnout because they're trying to meet unrealistic expectations. The pressure of keeping up appearances can drain our energy and damage our self-esteem. Here's a strategy: authenticity is key. Instead of trying to live up to an idealized version of yourself, aim to be more authentic in your interactions. When you let go of the mask and show up as your true self, you'll form deeper and more meaningful connections with others. But it's not always easy to drop the mask. Social situations often encourage us to conform. A fascinating study by Dr. Mark Leary, a professor at Duke University, shows that humans have a natural desire to fit in and avoid rejection. This desire for acceptance is often what drives us to wear a mask. But wearing a mask can also hold you back. For example, someone who constantly plays the perfectionist role may fear making mistakes in public. This fear of failure can prevent them from taking risks or even trying new things. The real secret to overcoming this is to embrace imperfection and vulnerability. Remember, you don't need to be perfect to be loved or respected. In fact, showing your imperfections can make you more relatable and trusted. Authenticity fosters deeper relationships, both personally and professionally. When you take off the mask, you free yourself from the weight of societal expectations and truly step into your own power. If you're enjoying these insights, be sure to subscribe for more content on unlocking your potential and mastering the laws of human nature. Chapter 4. The Social Compass. Navigating the complex terrain of human dynamics. Humans are social creatures, and our behavior is deeply influenced by the people around us. In fact, studies show that we are constantly being shaped by the dynamics of the groups we belong to. According to social psychologist Dr. Robert Cialdini, we often conform to the group's norms without even realizing it. This can be both beneficial and harmful, depending on the environment we find ourselves in. Imagine this: you're at a party, and everyone starts laughing at a joke you didn't understand. Even if you didn't find it funny, you might laugh too, just to fit in. This is known as social proof, and it's a powerful tool that influences our actions. We're wired to look around and take cues from others about how to behave. But understanding these social dynamics can help you navigate situations more effectively. A great strategy is becoming aware of group influence. When you're in a group, ask yourself, am I acting in alignment with my true values, or am I just following the crowd? This awareness can empower you to make decisions that are more aligned with your personal goals. The concept of in-group and out-group is another fascinating area of social behavior. Research shows that humans tend to favor those within their own group and treat outsiders with more suspicion or even hostility. This instinct helped our ancestors survive in smaller tribes, but today it can lead to unnecessary conflict and division. To deal with this, try expanding your social circle. Interact with people from diverse backgrounds and experiences. Studies show that diverse groups tend to perform better in problem-solving tasks because they bring different perspectives to the table. This not only broadens your worldview but also helps you build stronger connections with others. Social intelligence also plays a crucial role. Daniel Goleman, author of Emotional Intelligence, argues that understanding and managing your emotions and those of others is key to building strong relationships. By practicing empathy and improving your emotional awareness, you can enhance your social interactions and influence people positively. Chapter 5. The Drama of Desire. Why we crave what we can't have. Desire is one of the most powerful forces in human nature. It drives us to work hard, pursue goals, and sometimes even act irrationally. But have you ever wondered why we often want things more when they seem out of reach? This phenomenon is known as scarcity, and it plays a huge role in how we make choices. A well-known study by psychologist Robert Cialdini reveals that people tend to value things more highly when they perceive them as scarce. The classic example is when a store has a limited time offer, or only a few left in stock. Suddenly, the item seems more desirable, even if it wasn't that special before. The fear of missing out, FOMO, triggers an emotional response that leads us to act quickly and irrationally. A strategy to manage your desires is understanding your triggers. Ask yourself, why do I want this thing so badly? Is it because I truly need it, or is it because it's rare or hard to get? Being mindful of these impulses can help you make more rational decisions. One way to curb unnecessary desire is to practice delayed gratification. Studies show that people who can resist immediate pleasure in favor of long-term goals tend to be more successful. The famous Stanford marshmallow experiment found that children who could wait for a second marshmallow were more likely to achieve higher academic and professional success later in life. But desire is not just about material things. We often crave attention, admiration, and validation from others. In his book The Art of Seduction, Robert Greene explains that humans are wired to seek approval from others, and this desire can lead to both personal and professional successes, or failures, depending on how we manage it. The key is channeling your desires. Instead of focusing on what you can't have, shift your attention to what you can control. Focus on developing skills, creating value, and building meaningful relationships. When you redirect your energy, you'll find that your desires become more aligned with your long-term goals. Chapter 6. The Shadow Self. Confronting the dark side of human nature. We all have a shadow, a side of ourselves we prefer to hide or ignore. Carl Jung, the Swiss psychologist, argued that the shadow represents the parts of ourselves we reject or deny. It contains our weaknesses, fears, and desires that we often deem unacceptable. But ignoring our shadow doesn't make it go away. In fact, it can have the opposite effect, leading to unconscious behaviors that hold us back. A study by the University of California found that repressing emotions can lead to increased stress and anxiety. When we hide parts of ourselves, they don't disappear, they resurface in unhealthy ways. For example, someone who suppresses anger might express it in passive-aggressive behavior, damaging relationships without even realizing it. The strategy here is confronting your shadow. The first step is self-awareness. Pay attention to your reactions, especially the negative ones. When you get upset or defensive, ask yourself, what's really going on here? Often, it's a sign that your shadow is at work. By acknowledging these emotions without judgment, you can begin to integrate them into your life in a healthier way. Another important step is embracing vulnerability. This can be incredibly difficult, but it's essential for growth. When you allow yourself to be open about your flaws, weaknesses, and mistakes, you create deeper connections with others. People are drawn to authenticity, and embracing your shadow is one of the most authentic things you can do. Jung believed that the process of confronting the shadow is crucial for achieving psychological wholeness. This idea is reflected in the work of Dr. Jordan Peterson, who talks about the importance of embracing both the light and dark aspects of ourselves. When you accept your whole self, you can start to live more fully and freely. It's also important to understand that the shadow is not inherently bad. In fact, parts of our shadow can be incredibly powerful when harnessed in the right way. For example, the anger we suppress can be channeled into motivation to achieve our goals or protect our boundaries. By integrating our shadow, we can unlock hidden potential. By understanding the laws of human nature, you now have the tools to navigate your world with greater awareness and intention. To dive deeper into these ideas and master your own potential, be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for more.